yeah, I don't really know how this is gonna go or how all this is gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. So, welcome to Mind Creates Muscle. This is something I've been working on for quite some time. I've been thinking and contemplating about doing it for a little bit over 2 years now, and I just decided that this was going to be the time. You know, I'm in college right now, so I decided that this was going to be the time to pursue this and kind of um, tackle what's been pressing on me and what's been on my mind and my heart for the past 2 years. So this is it. Welcome to Mind Creates Muscle. A little bit introduction into kind of what this is going to be about. So by the title, you can kind of get it and kind of understand like what it's going towards. Ever since I was little, I've always wanted to um, impact people's lives, and I've always wanted to bring a positive change into people's lives as well. I've always had a knack for coaching and things of that nature. But just to kind of introduce what Mind Creates Muscle is all about, it's gonna be a multi media entity dedicated to improving mindset, physical fitness, and lifestyles through different types of interventions. So, what you're watching right now is one of those interventions. It's the podcast. Here on this podcast, I plan on having not hosts, having guests to come on and sit with me and be able to discuss various topics within, either it's, sports performance, it's mental performance, it's, your lifestyle, your daily life choices, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of what this is geared towards. So that's kind of where things are at with it right now. Still building, still working out kinks, still trying to understand kind of how this is going to completely form together. But this is it. And I'm super excited. I'm so stoked to actually like get here, sit here, be on here, and talk to you guys. It's actually funny. I actually just now today received the equipment needed to film this here video. So, um, if that doesn't tell you how excited I am about it, it I wanted to jump right in and get this thing going. And I don't really know what will convince you to um, understand how excited I am about this. Um, so moving on, um, kind of I want to give y'all a little bit of backstory on kind of who I am. If you're watching this, you either do know who I am and you kind of know a little bit about me, or you're watching this and you have no freaking clue who I am. So kind of dive into that a little bit. So my name is Major Martin. Um, I'm currently a student at Gustavus Adolphus College in St. Peter, Minnesota. I've been here for just 2.5 years. Yeah, I've been here for 2.5 years in my junior year. I'm here studying exercise physiology. I'm kind of pursuing that sports training, not physical therapy, but personal training type of thing. So yeah, super dope. And kind of going into that. I'm from a small town in Texas. Um, and there I lived with my mom, my brother, my sister, and then I also had grandparents and stuff. They lived there and were always around. So that's kind of who I am and what I come from. I'm sure through this podcast we're gonna dive deeper into certain things, certain instances, or you know um, just like things that have come to form and shape me who I am. But I think through this is going to be a journey for me, especially, just to be able to, have different conversations, expose myself to different things, and kind of just try to make sense and try to find a way to kind of push this towards. I don't want this to be too structured or too put together kind of in a way. I want this to be completely raw. I'm going to be 100% authentically myself on here. And I'm always going to try to come and bring knowledge and bring um, some kind of value to your life if you're watching this um, or listening. So, um, with that being said, you might wonder, what does a 21-year-old have to offer in terms of, um, you know, knowledge, or what does a 21-year-old know about mindset, right? You think, oh, 21 in college, oh, you're exploring different things. You don't even know really who you are yet at the moment. But I think that for me, I think that there is something about being completely honest. And I think that there's something to um, understanding and kind of knowing that even though, yes, I may be young. So someone once told me, um, who's actually told me this past summer, someone I look up to told me, never let someone take advantage of your age or your ignorance, right? Don't ever let someone take advantage of that. And that's kind of my mindset going into this, is just like, yeah, I may be young. I may not have experienced, much. I may not, have experienced all the things that maybe you have gone through or stuff like that. You can say like, what is a 21-year-old, what has he gone through that kind of gives him the ability to come on here and have a platform and have people listen to him and actually try to gain value from what he's saying. Um, but I don't think it's about that. I think it's about me, um, and y'all listening, being on a journey um, to progressively get better. Honestly, just to use each other to um, facilitate change in our lives. And I think that that's something huge. And I think that that's something that I have found through listening to other podcasts, that, through this type of, or this form of media, you're able to have deep conversations. You're able to, think, process things. You're able to take principles and things that you've learned from different experiences, pull them together, relate them to the podcast, if that's what you're watching or listening to, which if you're watching this, you are. Um, so, yeah, I'm just going to be completely 100% myself in this. I'm not going to try to, you know, sell you anything or try to come on here and act like I know it, everything and know it all. I'm just going to be talking completely from my experience and kind of talking about things that I care about and things that I think are important for people to know. So it's kind of the backstory on what this is kind of become and what this is kind of morphing into. Um, I want to touch on kind of the progression of Mind Creates Muscle, um, and kind of what has driven me to come to this. So I've always been the type of person to uh, go out and try new things and like just try to find stuff that really matters to me and that really fulfills me. And one of the biggest things that I learned when I was young, was that fitness, sports, anything to do with, anything physical really is something that just, it, it has a spark in my brain. There's something in my brain that just like goes like, yes, that is what I need. And so that's, and that was from young age. Like I remember like, people getting to college and still don't even know what they, are thinking about doing for the rest of their lives. But like honestly, I really found out that doing anything within fitness or sports was something that I was going to really try to go after and really try to get, because I knew that that was my purpose. And I'll talk a little bit about purpose later on in this episode. Um, but I think that that's the number one key for anyone, is to understand what that is and to chase it relentlessly. Like, you're never going to finish. This isn't a race that, you know, you can find yourself finishing and like being like, okay, like I did it. Yes. No, like it's constant until the day you're buried. It is constant and it doesn't stop. So that's kind of like, so I'm thinking about, sports and fitness and all this kind of stuff. And I'm watching YouTubers and watching, you know, people play, professional football, people do, running in the Olympics and stuff. And I wanted to do it all. Like, I seriously, genuinely wanted to do it all. It's funny. I actually put up a piece of paper on um, on like a pin board, like what are those called? A cork board in my room, and it just had a bunch of different stuff, and it said like, you know, I'm gonna do these things, right? I'm gonna run in the Olympics. I'm gonna play in the NFL. I'm gonna, do all this stuff. And I think that I really had an understanding of that from a very young age, of like really what I wanted to do. So um, understanding that, and that fitness in sports and anything like that is super important to me, and I think everyone should know about it and should know what it is. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the introduction on what this is going to be, and I'm sure together, me and you are going to learn more about what this is going to be as we progress, and go through this awesome journey together. But I'm super excited to get this thing going. I'm super excited to get it started, um, and it's time to grind. It's time to get down to it. It's time to grind, pedal to the metal. I posted on the Mind Creates Muscle Instagram, which you should go follow. It's at Mind C Muscle on Instagram. It's the tag for all platforms besides YouTube. YouTube is just Mind Creates Muscle. Um, but but yeah, I made a post on Instagram and I said, the first step is the most important step anyone has ever taken, and I think that that rings true. Like, if you think about it, no other step past the first step matters until the first step is taken. You kind of understand and get what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you have the idea of like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but the first step is what gets it going, right? You can't have, they say the snowball effect, right? You gain momentum, right? Momentum, it's simple physics law. Momentum does not start until motion starts, right? Momentum cannot be gained being in a static position, right? There's potential, sure, there's potential. These are the laws that we live in. These are the laws that we live out every day physically. Maybe you may not understand them, but they apply to everything in your life. They apply to, you know, oh, I want to go get that job. Okay, how do I get that job? That's kind of, or like, I want to get all A's this semester. Well, how do I get it? I can't get all A's just like thinking about it, right? I have to do something. I have to take a step, right? So I think that that's really important to understand when, you know, even when I'm thinking about all of this, is that first step is the most important thing to the process, to the journey, to the destination. And personally, I don't think that there ever is a destination, but people get into that mindset and they kind of think about it that way, and it's easier for people to grasp. So I'm gonna get into kind of the core of this episode, um, and why it's titled the way it is titled. If you're watching this, you know that the title of this podcast or this episode is why us? Why us? And I'll get into a little bit more of what I mean by that later on. But why us? It's kind of a deeper question than, you just read it and you automatically think, whatever you think. But I think that there's meaning and there's something deep behind it, and it's something that came to me instantly when I was thinking about, okay, what am I gonna do for the first episode, right? Because like I'm nervous, right? I don't have like the best equipment. Like right now, I'm on this mic. It's right here. It's clipped, and it's wirelessly Bluetooth to my phone. So I'm filming this off my phone, because I didn't want to have to waste time of like, okay, I need the best equipment. I need the best, I need a new computer. I need all this stuff before I get started. No, like goes back to that first step. Like do it. Do it. Like your first step is the most important thing that you can do when trying to pursue, gain, achieve any type of goal that you've ever wanted in your entire life, right? The first step. It's the biggest thing. So, to take that first step, what do you need to know? Well, this goes back to why I said why us, right? Why us? Everyone here is put here for a reason. Everyone here who is living, breathing, surviving, thriving on this planet Earth was put here for a reason, and that reason is purpose. This is the biggest. If I could make one thing for everyone, if I could had one wish, my wish would be that everyone in the world knew their purpose and knew why they were on this earth. Because once you know that, everything else becomes extremely easy. Everything else becomes extremely easy, like wildly easy. Any decision, oh, I need to, you know, do I need to do this or do I need to do that? Once you know your purpose, that that's easy. That decision is easier to make, right? So everyone has a purpose. Like I have it tatted on me, right? I have it tatted because I think it's important for people to be exposed to it, and I think it's something that's extremely important to my life. So I wanted to have it for the rest of my life in ink on my body. So everyone has a purpose, right? The number I've I've read and done some research, because as one does before they do any type of um, you know production or any type of presentation, anything like that. It's what you're taught in school, is to do research and stuff. And they have found that the number one cause for disapproval of your own life, like you disapprove, of the state you're in, or you disapprove of the, or you're unsatisfied, I should say it like that. The number one reason people are unsatisfied within their own lives is because they haven't found their purpose, or they know their purpose and they just don't know how to act on it. um, and that can be hard, and I've dealt with that before. And you're like, oh, 21 hasn't done much, but I can say from my experience I've dealt with that. So in knowing that everyone has a purpose, everyone also has a superpower that feeds that purpose. Everyone has a gift. Everyone has a God given gift, talent, ability, strength that they can use to further fulfill their purpose, right? So for me, I think I've come to find that my biggest strength is being able to relate to people and being able to effectively communicate. Um, and this is something that I've developed through, different coaching opportunities, you know, different stuff that I've done. But I feel like I've always had something where I'm able to like tell someone something and they're able to gain something from it, right? So, how do you find your superpower? Well, I think the number one way to find your superpower is to try to find your superpower. That kind of sounds stupid, but I'll explain. Um, you when you try to find your superpower, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? You're trying different things, right? So, say you think you have the ability to play the guitar, right? You think, okay, maybe my gift is music, right? Maybe my gift is being able to, play the piano. Well, what do you have to do to understand that? You have to try to play the piano, right? You have to try to play the guitar. You have to try to use music, right? So I think the biggest thing is trying things. Everyone knows who Gary Vaynerchuk is, and he always talks about being half pregnant, right? And you think it's funny when you first hear it. You're like, oh, he's talking about being half pregnant. How can you be half pregnant, right? What he means is be half pregnant and knowing that you must try everything. You must try everything to understand what truly is yours and what truly is going to bring you purpose and a fulfilling life, right? So I think that going out and trying things, and I'm actually living through this right now, doing this episode, going out and trying things and trying to find the things that you, one, like to do, two, are good at, and hopefully find something that you're good at that you also like to do, right? Um, this is what gets people into trouble. They think instead of finding something they like to do or finding something that they want to do or something that they're good at, they do either what their parents tell them to do or they do what society has told them they must do, right? Go to college, get a job, work, retirement, live your life that way, right? But I think that you can do that, sure, but are you truly going to find what is for you? I don't think so. I think that that's why most people in America, especially, most people are completely unsatisfied with their lives because, yes, they may be making $130,000 a year being a CPA, doing people's taxes, right? Making $130,000 a year being a financial advisor, making $130,000 a year going and spending 9 hours in a one by one box, right? Yes, you're making money. Yes, you're providing for your family. Yes, you're pursuing, maybe you're pursuing a promotion, you're trying to get, advance in the company, right? But it's crazy to think that when people chase money and chase that, it's crazy to see, if you take, okay, the salary and line it up with happiness, right? And fulfillment. There there's a lot of instances where there's no overlap, right? And the only time they overlap is when you have found your purpose and you are doing what you love and you're doing it because you love to do it and you're doing it because it's fulfilling you. And then the money always seems to follow after that, right? The money always seems to kind of find its way to trickle in, right? So I think it's important for you to, you know, understand, find that purpose, find that fulfillment, try things, try everything you can. Just try, try. Try something, don't like it, move on. Try something, don't like it, move on. Try something, oh, I kind of like that, right? Maybe let's play around with that a little bit. Let's spend some time here. Let's do, let's find, you know, niches within that thing, right? Not just like focusing, okay, this thing, move on, this thing, move on, right? Go into this thing, okay, I kind of like it, right? Go deeper, right? Go deeper. Get in there. Actually, try to understand every um, piece of whatever that is, right? And really, really pursue that, really chase that, and try to capture everything from that. And if by the end of that you feel okay, like we've got something here, let's go. Like let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like let's hit the ground running, right? Whatever that is, whatever that that is for you. But to do that, yes, you need to know your purpose. Yes, you need to find your superpower. Yes, yes, all these things. But you also need to understand your desires. And people jump, okay? So people jump. They go to their desires, their wants, what they want, the life that they want to have before they understand those building blocks of like purpose, superpower, that type of thing. They just jump straight. They're like, and social media has been the biggest blessing and a curse because of this, right? It's a blessing because it gives people the opportunity to take control of their lives. It gives people the opportunity to take control of their own platform and use it to build, use it to fulfill their purpose, right? But then at the same token, it also puts up a facade, right? It puts up a layer of like it's almost like makeup in front of a person, right? So like when you go to post on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, when you go to post, what are you posting? Are you posting what you're doing at 3:50 p.m. on a Tuesday after you just got done with school and you're chilling in your dorm room? Are you posting that? No. You're posting the greatest highs of the highs, right? You're you're posting professional pictures. You're posting, you know, the moments in your life that you think other people will like, right? Not necessarily the moments you like. Yes, you might like those moments as well, but you're posting because you're trying to achieve a reaction from someone else, right? And I use this to kind of give validity to what I'm saying of like your wants and your desires, right? You see it on social media. Oh, this person has posted this. I want to be like that person. I want to, I don't only want to be like that person, I want to live that person's life. I want to do exactly what that person does, and I want to be that person, right? You want to be that millionaire who's posting, you know, with the girls in the Lambo in front of the mansion, right? You want to be that person who's posting, "Oh, I just took a trip to, like the beach or something like that." You know what I'm saying? You want to be that person, right? You want to have that experience, right? And social media is great because it allows people to understand, okay, and wakes them up like, I want that, right? But then at the same token, it makes you start to do comparisons. And comparisons is what people always say curiosity killed the cat. I don't think it's curiosity. I think it's comparison killed the cat. The cat the cat cannot truly understand, or let me rewind this. Comparison killed the cat. What do I mean by that? When you compare yourself to someone else, what are you doing? You're saying, okay, he makes 100 grand. I only make 50. She has her own business. I don't have my own business. They have this. I don't have this. That's the type of conversation you have when you compare someone. Because let's face it, when we look at someone else, we don't automatically say, unless you're a sick person, we don't automatically say, I am better than you, right? I am better than you, right? When you look at someone else, you try to find the things that they have that you do not have, right? This is human nature. This is why people have greed. This is why people try to, take all they can. This is why big businesses take all they can, right? It's because they see something, that person has it, I don't have it, I need it, right? And to understand where you want to get to in your life, you need to first understand that that is a reality, right? Seeing someone else having the life that you want and comparing yourself isn't going to get you there. What's going to get you there is seeing where you want to be, right? I want to be here. I want to be making this much by this end of the year. I want to be, I want to be driving this car by the time I'm 25, right? I want to be this, right? But I'm here, right? I want to be here, but I'm here, right? How do I get from here to here? Well, I don't get from here to here by comparing myself from down here to up here. And I don't get from here to here by thinking about what it's like to be here. To get from here to here, I think about what it's going to take for me to go from here to here. And then when I'm at this place, I'm going to see what does it take for me to get from here to here, 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 until eventually you turn around and you look around and you're like, hey, I'm here, right? You focus on those little things, those little steps. There's a book, I actually have it, and it's called The Mount of Olives, 11 Declarations to an Extraordinary Life by Michael V. Ivanov, right? This is a book that my mom gave to me on Valentine's Day. You can see it right there. Last year, or 2 years ago. And in reading it, it gives out an acronym called ACT. And when I say ACT, ACT, right? ACT. So it stands for assess your current situation. Where are you at right now in your life? Assess your current situation. And it could be with anything, it could be, I drive this car, right? Or doesn't even have to be materialistic things. It can be, I'm this as a person, right? Assess your current state, right? Who am I as a person, right? Understand that. Really understand that. Like, don't be like, okay, yes, I live here. I live in this town. Like, that's my current state. No, like, who are you as a person, right? Understand your current state. Create your desired state, right? C, enact. Create what you want to get. Create where you want to go, right? Create that in your mind. Write it down on a piece of paper. I'm a big promoter of taking thoughts and writing it down on a piece of paper, because then it becomes physical and comes into manifestation. I'm sure we'll talk a lot about manifestation throughout the course of this podcast, because it's very vital. But create that desired state, right? And when creating that, now you have those two pieces, right? I have the borders. I know where I'm at. I know where I want to be. Now, how do I get there? T, enact. Take action, right? Actually do. Take the first step, right? Into trying to get to where you want to go. Trying to achieve what you want to achieve. Trying to gain the things you want to gain. Trying to bring that goal to life and bring it from reality. Because using that acronym, things become extremely, extremely easy and simple, right? People have these big, grand goals. Awesome. Like, awesome. I probably have the biggest goal. Not the biggest. I won't say that, because people have goals bigger than mine. But in terms of my life, my number one goal that I've ever wanted to do is play in the NFL. And I believe that that's going to happen, right? And I know it's going to happen. And I'm manifesting that it is going to happen and putting that energy out there, right? But I don't get there by just talking about it and understanding where I'm at and where I want to be, right? I actually have to take action. I have to take steps to build myself up to that point until I turn around and I'm like, hey, I'm not there anymore. I'm here. I'm where I want to be, right? So understanding that is extremely, extremely vital to becoming the person you want to be. And kind of leading into that feeling, and knowing, being aware of that is extremely important. So how does this tie back into why us, right? Why us? And I titled it Us because I wanted this to be more of a thing where I'm not talking at you and I'm not talking to you, right? I'm talking with you. Now, physically, you're not here to facilitate a conversation with me, right? But, you know, because of social media and stuff, you're able to, comment, do all that kind of stuff, or just listen and follow, like, build with me, right? I wanted this to be collaborative because I want I want this to become like a family. Like I want this to be a family, right? My mind creates muscle family. I want that, right? I want that togetherness because togetherness helps you build and it helps you get to where you want to be. Nobody's ever got anywhere without anyone. It's kind of hard to understand, but no one has ever gotten anywhere without anyone because everyone needs everyone, right? So why us? Why us? Well, because we're here. That's why us. We're here. You're on this earth, right? You're here. That's why. Why us? Because we're here. Don't need to understand philosophically why, Um, I am a religious person and I believe in God and Jesus Christ, but it's 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 beyond that. It's like you're here. You need to come to terms with that. You're here. It's your life, right? Take advantage of it. Use it. Suck every little ounce of energy that you can out of this life. That's why us. Is because we're here. That is why us. Why us? Because you control your life and you get to write the story. You are the one when you die, what are you going to be remembered by, right? You're not going to be remembered by the way someone else achieved your goals. You're not going to be remembered by the way someone else thought of you. No. You're going to be remembered by the impact that you place on the people and the things that are here right now. Your family, your friendships, your relationships. That's how you're going to be remembered. You're going to be remembered by us because of you, right? So you have to take control of your life. You have to do it. It's on you. You are the sole author of your own story. Do not play victim, right? Do not say, bad things happen to me. No, bad things don't happen to you. Bad things happen, but they don't happen to you. You get to decide how you react to bad things, right? Bad things happen, but bad things don't happen to you, right? Whew, it's kind of a lot. Um, but yeah, I think that this is gonna be cool. This this is gonna be sick, and I'm so excited for this to happen. And I'm ready. I'm ready for the challenge. I'm ready to tackle it, and I want you to be there with me the whole way, all of us together. So, with that being said, I think this is a good spot to end the first podcast. The first one is complete, awesome, amazing. I'm glad. It's so sick that this happened. Um, Not really the longest one, but honestly, I don't care. I'm here to be 100% authentically myself. And so I don't need, um, you know, long podcasts and stuff like that for you to watch and listen to. Plus, not much is happening. You see other podcasts and stuff. Even ones I watch, there's a lot going on. Like around they have multiple people on, but it's just me talking this time. So don't wanna don't wanna be too long or too boring. But yes, definitely subscribe. Please subscribe. Mind Creates Muscle on YouTube. If you're watching it, you're here. Subscribe, turn on the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, um, and then also go follow Instagram, Mind See Muscle. Go follow the TikTok, Mind See Muscle, and go follow the Twitter, Mind See Muscle. I'll be posting, cut ups of the podcast, all that kind of different stuff. Motivational stuff. I'm thinking about doing posts on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and doing different topics on each one of those. So let me know if you would like to see that, and give me suggestions, or just tell me how even I did on the first episode. So yeah, leave a comment. leave a like, follow the Instagram, and bless up. This is happening, and it's gonna be sick, and I'm extremely ready for it and extremely excited to pursue my purpose. Think about it. Sleep on it. Why us? Believe it. All right. See you. Peace.